So you can see here on the top of the rim here, it says the high is 69 degrees, but over at the bottom of the canyon today, the high is supposed to be near 90 degrees. So a huge difference. Here in the morning at the Backcountry Information Center, and there's the bus stop where you meet at. All right, here we are at 7:30 a.m. in October 2022, and we're about to start on the South Kaibab Trailhead. First thoughts as I looked out over the canyon is I'm excited and I'm anxious at the same time. It's really overwhelming, really impressive. I've never seen it before, so I'm excited to do this thing. It looks pretty mega steep, so I'm excited to get after it. Kind of anxious. I didn't sleep that well last night. Let's see how this thing goes. All right, this is the very start of the South Kaibab Trail. It's really well marked and easy to find when you get off of the bus. You come down, the trails look pretty good. This is the vista off to the left as you first start. It's just incredible. First impression of the trail is, yeah, it's really wide, which is nice. Really well maintained. Doesn't feel as scary as I thought that it would. Let's see if I can look off here to the left as I'm walking. Obviously, there are some definite drop-offs. Like, I wouldn't want to look over those cliffs too much. I'm going to stay over to the far right as I go, but yeah, this trail is really wide, really well maintained. Looks good here. Itself is not terribly steep so far, which I'm kind of liking. You can see there's a lot of switchbacks here, and man, it looks, my palms are really sweating right now. I'm scared of heights, so this is kind of funny that I'm doing this, but man, it is beautiful but scary at the same time. That's where I came from. It looks pretty vertical from right here, but the trail wasn't too scary vertical. Just doing a lot of switchbacks as we go. Here's the view over the side. Some other people. Let's do this thing, keep going. Far so good. I'm probably 30 minutes in and it's been really enjoyable. It is strikingly quiet and peaceful in this canyon. I think October is definitely the time to come. There's not a lot of people on the trail. Trail is really well maintained too. It's very walkable. You know, I like these step things, and I'm sure they're there for the erosion control. But that's awesome. So you can see it's just a bunch of switchbacks going straight down the side of the mountain. When you're walking, it's a little rugged, so you have to watch your step. But still, the path is really well maintained. Pretty easy to walk on. I think you just have to be careful of rolling your ankle or you're spraining your knee or something like that. But I think if you take your time, it's a pretty good path. I am definitely taking my time because I'm not in any rush. This is for fun. First big site is Point. And this is the view from Point. Notice as once we hit that Point, a lot of people, I think almost everybody stops there. So as I've gone on, I'm hardly seeing anybody on the trail. In fact, I haven't seen anybody for a bit. So it's kind of interesting. It looks like a lot of people come to go see that spot maybe, and then they stop there and go back up on the South Kaibab Trail. Let's just take a minute and look around here. You can see if you look straight over the edge, it's pretty sheer. But if you just stay on the path, it doesn't look that sheer, and it's not that scary if you just stay on the path. That said, I do have to admit, my palms are still super sweaty. So I'm sure at a subconscious level, my body is scared out of its mind because I'm scared of heights. But in my waking mind, I don't feel that scared. But I think my body is like, what are you doing? Truth, when I come up to corners like this, and it's just a sheer drop off on the other side, scares the heck out of me. Listen to how still it is out here. There's no one else on this trail but me right now, as far as I can see. Dude, okay, I'm not looking at the camera right now, I'm looking at the ground, but this part right here has me at maximum anxiety right now. It is a sheer drop off on both sides, but the trail is about, oh good, it's not a total drop off on my right. Trail's still 4 feet wide, so we're good. My palms are super sweaty. You might think this is interesting. It's only 8:10, so it's only 40 minutes into the hike. And boy, you can already feel the warmth, the difference between being up on the upper edge of the canyon versus down into it a little bit. The heat comes off of the rocks from the sun, and I'm already down to just a t-shirt already, so amazing temperature difference. So this is the trail leading up to Cedar Point, I think. I'm assuming that's Cedar Point up ahead, which just looks kind of like a big flat spot in the path, but it's really pretty in here. You can see the path here is not that steep and really well maintained. Looks like Cedar Point is just a big, flat, wide open spot. Let's pan around so you can see the view from here. So this is Cedar Ridge. Our restrooms here. Kind of looks like a little water area and a hitching post for the mules. And there's a few people down in this area kind of sitting around and stuff like that. But as you can tell, there's hardly anybody here. One of the things I'll say is that all of the areas are well signed, so that's nice. There's no confusion, and there's only one path up and down so far that I've seen, so it's nice because you can't really get lost or confused so far, which is nice. All right, I chilled at Cedar Point for a little bit. I just noticed it's 8:15, so it hasn't taken that long to get here, and now let's take the path back out of Cedar Ridge. Continue on. Here is the view just beyond Cedar Ridge. I thought it was really pretty, so I'll just take a minute. All right, let's be straight. I was walking along thinking I was doing a pretty cool thing, and it's pretty tough, you know. I was overcoming my fears, and I'm doing this thing. And as I'm walking along, I hear these footsteps coming up behind me pretty quick. So I thought, oh, okay, somebody's running. I'll pull over. And so I stand off to the side. This dude comes running by me at a full sprint, and he was wearing a weight vest. I was like, no water, no food, no nothing, just an extra weight vest. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to check myself. I'm not that cool after all. You know, there's a lot of sheer cliffy parts in the beginning, but then there's also more flat parts. So like, look at this part right here. See how the trail goes out there? And I've caught some more people, so it must be whatever, but see it's kind of flat there? And then you can see off way out there in the distance. That's the trail continuing down over there, so it's not all vertical. Now we're coming up on Skeleton Point. I'm not sure what time it is. I'll have to look. It's like probably 9 o'clock or something in the morning. But really beautiful views. Back there is where you start. You can see like how it's kind of sheer cliffs up at the very beginning, but it's gotten a lot flatter in this particular part. You can't see the river from here yet. It's still down below. Just beyond Skeleton Point, this is pretty steep right here. So you're going down vertical right now on the path. Skeleton Point, you can see actually, good, it's just a bunch of switchbacks. Very doable. Very doable. You can see there's a few people on the trail. Not many, but there's maybe 10 that you can see right now in the frame. So it's 9:55, and I'm here at a point called the tip-off point or something like that, or the tip-off. Towards the bottom of the canyon, I've just got a little bit left to go to hit the river. And man, this is a great little place just to, you can see it's like a little corral they've got here with some shade. And I'm just sitting here and I've got my feet elevated and just taking a break. My legs are pretty tired already, so I'm dreading going back up. We'll see how that goes. My legs are getting pretty gassed.
All right, it's 10:05. I just left the tipping point area, and you can see that's the river down there on the bottom. You can actually see a raft. Gotta tell you, my legs are mega gassed at this point. So to know there's a couple more miles till the bottom and then I have to start up, that's going to be a tall order. But anyway, it's an adventure. Across the way there, you can see a mule train coming up. That's kind of neat. You can see it's still super vertical right here. The path is not super vertical, but the drop-offs are sheer drop-offs. Here comes the mule train. Wow, they are heavily laden. That's a lot of stuff. All right, I am the only one on the trail at this point, and it's about 10:20. Getting closer to the bottom, but still a long way to go until I'm at the bottom, let alone coming up. This is sketchy. I'm tough. Now 10:30 a.m. Making progress steady still. My legs are just gassed. I'm not even at the bottom yet. You can see there's an encouraging sign. There's that first Black's Bridge down there off in the distance, so that's the very bottom. Just got to make it there, go across, go up that way, start my way back up. All right, so this is the fork in the road when you get to the bottom of the South Kaibab, and if you go to the right this way, where you see those people went, it just goes down, and then it goes across that bridge there, and it goes over to Phantom Ranch. A cool panoramic view of the bottom of the river area. So that is the Silver Bridge there, and that's like a rest area down there. And that's the path that goes up to the Phantom Ranch up there. And then down here some river rafters, and there's the Black Bridge. All right, it's 11 o'clock, and I have made it down to the bottom. All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm totally scared of heights. I've been scared the whole time. Every time I look at a cliff, I can't even shake it, man. So if you're really scared of heights, I would not do this, man. It is intense. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but my body's like in kind of fight or flight the whole time, just because being right by sheer cliffs is kind of a little intense. 11:45, just past the Silver Ridge area over there. Now I'm on Bright Angel officially on my way back up. Just got to find where the chairlift is. So this is still that Bright Angel trail as it goes along the river. It's going along for a pretty long time here by the river. It's kind of nice and relaxing to have a flat spot after going down for so long. I realized that going down wasn't hard on my cardio at all. It was just hard on my leg. It just tired my legs out. So we'll see how going up goes. I'm sure it's going to gas my cardio. I'm coming to realize that I'm a lot more Taco Bell than I am granola. So Bright Angel is interesting. I've kind of been walking at about the same elevation for about 45 minutes without turning to go up. Kind of jogs a little bit up and a little bit down, but I'm still right by the river. I thought I'd be going up by now, but I've confirmed I'm still in Bright Angel, just kind of more following the river edge and barely going up a little bit at a time. All right, 12:20, and we've hit a restroom here. It looks like this is where we start to turn back up the canyon to go finally back up to the rim. So looking forward to this part. This will be the hard part, but I'm ready to hit it. So that's the river behind me. There's a creek right here. Looks super refreshing. And something over there. All right, that's where we gotta go. Oh, this feels so good. I just laid down in this little stream, and it's really cold water. It feels like it's glacier water or mountain runoff or whatever, and it feels so good. Just so refreshing. I don't know what this little structure is here. I don't think I'm at Indian Garden yet, but so far the path has been easy. I'm sure it's going to get harder when I get up to those cliffs up there, but for right now, oh, I'm loving it. This is so refreshing. Oh man, come around from that little creek. You go a few bends, and then you see this. You know I have to get to the very top of all that. That's kind of overwhelming. Well, let's start. I'm so tired. Here's some of these things. Those switchbacks right there. Right when you start to come up. It's still before Indian Gardens, but those switchbacks are so steep. I tripped on a rock down there and fell pretty good and cracked my phone. So I'm almost to Indian Garden. I'm doing fine cardio-wise and stuff. The problem that I'm having is the fear of heights. It just has my heart constantly racing because I was pretty scared of the cliff. And like for a while I tried to sit near a cliff just to see if I could like make peace with it. I sat there for about 10 minutes and my heart just raced the whole time because I was so scared. My fear of heights has just got my heart going. Otherwise, I think I'd be fine in terms of my conditioning. I think I'm okay. Look how amazing this is. I will definitely be dipping my whole head and chest into this little brook here. I'm not going to drink it because I don't want Giardia or Physaria or whatever is in it, but I'm definitely going to be cooling down in it because I'm hot. So this part in here is so pretty. It's so funny. I keep thinking I'm at Indian Garden and it just never appears. But man, I'll tell you, this part right here, these things just give me so much anxiety. There's a cliff right there. There's obviously no handrails. And I sat here for like 10 minutes trying to just relax. And my heart just continues racing. It's the fear of heights more than the exercise. Welcome to Indian Garden. It's 3:45 p.m. So I'm clearly making a lot slower time than most people do. But I'm making it. It's been really hard work. It's a pretty area though. All right, this is Indian Garden. It's a campground. And there's water and toilets here, which I'm so thankful for. I'm going to go get a ton of water. Look at how pretty that canyon is up there. That is just breathtakingly beautiful. That's the reason why you come out here, I think, is just to see these views. So pretty. All right, so this is the most discouraging sign ever. You can see you've barely come off of the river bottom when you get to Indian Garden, and you have a lot of work ahead of you. And it feels like you already put in so much work because you came down the South Kaibab. So we'll see how this goes. It's 4 o'clock now. It's 4:20, and I still have a lot of the hardest work ahead. I'm kind of dreading this last part. Boy, don't you just have to remember to stop and enjoy the scenery and enjoy life and remember why you're doing this? That is breathtaking right there. I think that the very end of this hike finishes up in that V up there, right into the teeth of the canyon. So if that's the case, that's the mission. All right, now we're in Switchback City. It's pretty steep. We're still early on the switchbacks. I'm still somewhere below 3 Mile Rest House, so I've got a long time to go, but I thought I'd show you what the path looks like. 6 p.m. Doing well. Still somewhere below 3 Mile Rest House, but thought I'd take a break and show you how far I've come. I was way down there, and I was way below that, so I'm doing well. All right, finally, 6 o'clock. Well, it's 5:50. This is the 3 Mile Rest House up here. I'm gonna go get some more water and finish out. This 3 Mile Rest House, and there's a little water spigot here, which is just so wonderful. And the restrooms are up just beyond it. To get here, you just walk up maybe 20 or 30 steps off of the path, and it looks to me like the path probably is going to go down there, and then there's a switchback, and I think it just goes back, winding back up, but it's going to go up that cliff face, I'm sure. And that's going to be hard, but dude, what a cool experience. Life is short. I'm glad to be out here. 6:15, getting to be low light. I'll have to use my headlight here in a moment. I'm just above, between 3 Mile House and 1.5 Mile Rest House. All right, Vicky, where are we and what are we doing?
Well, we're sitting in the dark on the, what is it, Bright Angel path
Yep.
with sheer drop-offs in the pitch black with our little lights, but we're together and we're having fun and we're just making our way safely back to the trailhead.
And Vicky surprised me and walked down onto the trail.
I had to bring him this hat.
That's so cool. You're so sweet. She came down and surprised me, and the funny thing is, I looked up and I saw one light coming down, and I thought, I wonder if that's Vicky. And then after about 10 minutes, I heard her call out, and I was like, I think that was Vicky.
Because we're twin flames.
Isn't this kind of a fun adventure?
Traveling
It's a
this
terrifying,
far together.
scary adventure, but it's kind of an interesting thing to do with your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we'll never do again, ever.
Definitely not in the dark. For sure not in the dark.
Okay, pretty funny. So we came back to the canyon's rim to take some pictures today. It's a couple of days later. As we walked up the trail, I totally had PTSD looking off the edge, and I cannot get close to the rim. It's too scary.
Hey there, honey. How you feeling about those steps?
I can barely do it. It hurts so much.
How old are you feeling today?
97 years old today.
You made it.
Yes!